First things first, I want to say to all the people watching this to please watch this video all the way through. Please try to follow me with every little detail. I'm going to try to explain this the best I can. I want to start off this video by talking about what I mentioned in my first video addressing this situation. I've always tried to put soul first. I didn't want to speak too much or say the wrong things because I want to start this video just like how I started the first video addressing the situation. My intentions are not to bash her. My intentions are only to clear my name against these allegations. Just like I said in the first video, that because of that video, there most likely was gonna be a response, and if there was, it was gonna be fabricated with a bunch of lies and a lot of defamation of character. After this video, be prepared for a response from the mother. Just because she might not like some of the things I say. So just be prepared. And once that happens, then we'll all be prepared. We'll be able to move forward if that happens. And that's exactly what happened. So once again, I'm here to address everything that was said. And now I have to, unfortunately, expose the real truth. Before we get into this video, I want to give a big thank you to Joseph. For those of you who don't know who Joseph is, he has been the Mother and I's videographer and good friend for the last 4 years. He's played a crucial role in our lives and an even bigger role in my daughter's life. I'm also extremely thankful that Joseph's job has been to film every part of our lives, the good and the bad. Before this got to this point, when everything was going on, I was worried that I didn't have enough evidence or I wouldn't be able to find enough evidence to defend myself. So now that I've watched her video and saw all the evidence that she proposed to you guys, to me, it seems like this is premeditated and that she was planning to try to expose me at some point. My intentions when all this was going on, when I decided to be done with her, my intentions were never to get her in trouble, to make her where she can't see our daughter, or to expose her to the world. I just wanted to be done. Since Joseph has filmed everything the last 4 years, when her video came out, we were able to watch it and see everything that was said, and Joe was able to go and retrieve every little piece of evidence to prove that I'm innocent. Last thing I want to say before I really go in is that again, I never, ever wanted it to get to this point. I never wanted to have to do this. It's extremely unfortunate to have to do this. It's also extremely unfortunate that now our entire lives, our entire situation that happened is public to you guys, and now it's just entertainment. I always wanted to put my daughter first. I never wanted it to get to where maybe she's older and she hears about this situation, but now it's at the point where it is what it is, and now I have to do what I'm about to do. First things first, I want to address what I think is the most important thing, which is the word abuse. Never have I abused her, never have I abused anybody, I've never put my hands on a woman, and I never will. That is 100% false. From this video, you're gonna see that she is discrediting every woman who's actually been abused or is currently being abused right now. I think domestic abuse is a very serious matter. It should be taken very serious, and it's not something that should just be thrown around. I think it's really weird how in her video, she tried to expose every little part of our relationship, but when it came to, the most serious part, which was the abuse, she didn't feel like talking about it, and she didn't show any evidence of it. The only piece of evidence that I know of are these 1 or 2 photos that were leaked from her side that are kind of showing bruises on her neck or chest area. There's a reason why her face is not included in those photos, and there's a reason why those charges have now been dropped. Now, when it comes to verbal abuse, I will admit that there has been times where I have said things that should never been said. We both have said things that never should have been said. But again, that came in form of incidents and random fights that just got too far and the bad things were said. This was not an ongoing thing in our relationship. I also feel like a lot of you guys that are relationships can understand that a lot of things could be said in heated situations. So now it's time to show you guys, unfortunately, who the real aggressor was. I'm about to show you guys a series of clips that I'll go more into detail in this video.
Lock my door. Oh, hit me too? Oh, no, lock my door. Let's go. Get in the car.
No, you don't get to change your own mind. Don't.
Crazy.
You literally are psychotic.
Don't.
I'm done.
Shyla, don't.
I'm done.
Sit down. You need to get this done. Sit down.
I'm calling my
Shyla.
attorney? No.
Shyla, sit
No.
down. Sit down.
No.
This is fucking not gonna
You're
get
a piece
anywhere.
of shit.
Shyla, keep your fucking emotions in check.
So
I'm getting that head. Alright,
finish this conversation.
No, I don't want you to sit next to
No,
me.
I don't care what you want. I'm a grown woman. This is my
Shyla,
house.
get out.
No.
Get out if you're gonna be rude.
I'm sitting here. You don't get to determine
Okay,
what I
but you
said.
don't be rude.
No. I don't want you to say. Then you move.
Shyla, she's not doing anything at this point. She's only giving facts. Shyla, you need to calm down.
Okay, then tell her to shut the fuck up.
No, I'm not going to.
This is crazy.
I don't really give a fuck about you, frankly. Okay, let's go through it then, you stupid bitch. Like, your mom's a piece of shit, dude.
That's insane to me. Okay.
Like, dude, no, it's not okay.
would never disrespect your mom.
It's not okay. Your mom's a stupid ass bitch. I'll say it again to you. Your mom's a stupid, dumb, biased, fucking piece of shit ass bitch.
Any injuries that she had during this time that she insinuated that I caused is completely false. Just like how she kept mentioning her foot being broken and being in this boot, Sha was going through many cosmetic surgeries at this point, and a foot surgery was one of them, and here's proof of that.
I'm a little groggy right now, but I think she'll be okay.
It'll take us an hour and 5 minutes to get back to the hotel. Oh, no. Yeah, that's what she says. Better for us to eat now. I'll get you something to eat. You good with that? Okay.
You need to elevate your foot. Lift that baby up. You need help?
Where do I put it?
On the seat.
Hold up a second.
There you go. There you go.
The other injury that she accused me of was an injury to her finger. And I want to talk more about that when we get to that situation further down the video. Now I want to bring up a piece of evidence that came from our side that most of you guys have already seen before. Now I want to shed some light on what really happened on that incident and how this video even came about. This incident happened on April 1st. It's easy for me to remember this date because it's the same day that I got my port removed from my cancer treatment. The cancer is another thing I'm going to dive into later on this video. I want to make sure that it was very crucial for me to touch on that. We'll get back to that. So April 1st night, I am in our bedroom putting my daughter to sleep like I did most nights. Celine's mother comes in the room and she wants to try to argue with me about stuff that we were already arguing about that day. Mind you, my daughter's trying to sleep next to me. She has a bottle in her mouth, her eyes are closed, she's damn near asleep. I didn't feel like talking. I dubbed the entire conversation. I'm saying that like I'm done with you, I'm over it, like I don't want to talk, just like please, not tonight. This made her very upset and she ended up assaulting me. In this moment, I'm just sitting there in shock. I didn't even react. I wasn't even speaking afterwards. I would say about 5 to 10 minutes go by and she assaults me again. So not only one time, 2 times. I believe 5 to 10 minutes go by and she assaults me again. The fact that she was able to assault me twice in a short period of time lets you know how aggressive she really was. After the second time she assaulted me, I get up, I go to the bathroom. Our daughter's still asleep. I go to the bathroom and I make a video of my injuries of my neck. I send it to her mother. Mind you, I have never once told anyone in my family, my parents, about any of the incidents, any arguments we've ever had, any bad things that have been said. Not once have I told them anything about Shiloh. I never wanted to tell my family anything because I didn't want them to, look at her differently. But her mother was the complete opposite. Her mother knows every single bad thing, any argument we've ever had, anything that's ever happened, she knew every single thing. She's also been the person to help mediate these type of situations that we've had between Shiloh and I. So I felt comfortable letting her know this as well. Let me show you the text messages that came with that video. As you're reading the text, one of the first things that her mother said was that I'm sorry. Which should already let you guys know that she knows her daughter and that this isn't like a huge surprise that this happened. I also think it's really weird that if you thought or knew that I was this crazy, aggressive, abusive boyfriend to your daughter, that I'm pretty sure you would think or assume that maybe I hit her first, or at least I hit her back at the very minimum. But you didn't assume any of those things. You didn't question, you weren't worried about any of those things. And you never even asked where Celine was or where our baby was at this time. Really, the first thing she wanted to talk about was what was gonna happen with our YouTube channel and our money. You're gonna realize as this video goes on that Celine's mother only really cared about when we're breaking up is the money and our YouTube channel. And this very incident was the breaking point. This was the downfall to Shiloh and I. This is what made me want to be done with her. Now it's time for me to go in about my cancer. In her video, she made it seem like my cancer wasn't shit.
So yes, it was cancer. No, he was not gonna die from it. Almost 100% of it was gone after the first chemotherapy. So he was rapidly getting better.
First off, I find it extremely disrespectful that she even said those things. I think that is very disrespectful to anyone that's ever been through cancer, who's had a family member that's been through cancer. Cancer is definitely not a joke. For my cancer, I had stage 4 lymphoma cancer. Stage 4, there is no stage 5. You guys right now can go and Google stage 4 lymphoma cancer and see the fatal, the rates of all that stuff. In her video, she states that my doctor said that I'm 100% gonna be fine.
No, he was not gonna die from it.
Nothing bad's gonna happen to me, basically. That's false. Stage 4 lymphoma cancer is extremely dangerous and extremely harmful. And if you don't address it in a matter of time, it 100% is fatal. But of course, him being who he was and being a good doctor, I feel like any good doctor, especially a cancer doctor, is going to be optimistic with you, especially when you just have a kid, which he knew I just had a daughter. He's gonna keep you in good hopes and let you know that everything's gonna be okay. Another thing that she said that I think is extremely hurtful, well, to me, really the most hurtful part is that she said that I used my cancer and my cancer experience to be to gain sympathy and to get attention from it.
More so enjoyed the attention that cancer brought him.
Most of you will never know what chemo being in your body is like. The truth of the matter is that I didn't want to film my cancer experience. I didn't want to do any of those things. It's embarrassing. If you see how I looked, I didn't look nothing like myself. I didn't even want to talk about it. I didn't want to do any of these things. Like, it's just something that you just don't want to do. At this time, she put so much stress on me about like, what are we going to do? These bills are going to be crazy, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, I wanted to step up and provide in this situation with the only thing I know how, which would be talking and sharing with you guys and sharing with the world my cancer experience. So with that being said, I find it really hurtful that she's saying that I use it for sympathy when I never wanted to film that. Nobody would want to film that. Nobody would want to document any of these things happening. On top of that, she even goes even further to say that she basically was there for me hand and foot and did everything for me during this cancer experience.
And I was carrying all the weight around previous to him getting sick. I was doing everything.
She took care of me, took care of her, all my medicine. She took care of our daughter this entire time. She talked about she took care of our dogs. Let's talk about that. Just so you guys know, during my cancer experience, not only did we have Joe to help us like he always was there, we had a chef, which was Chef Will, which most of you guys know, who was hired by Austin and Catherine. We had a 24-hour security service that did full-time security around our house, ran all of our errands for us, anything we needed. We never had to leave the house during that full, I would say about 90-day period. We'd have to leave the house once because of that security guard who was also hired by Austin and Catherine. Not only that, we had a fourth person, which I find it extremely funny really that she never talked about, which is we had a nanny. We had a nanny that was with us 5 days a week ever since Celine was 2 months old. That was by far one of the most crucial things because there was times when I literally physically couldn't even pick my daughter up. If my brother's family paid for the chef, if my brother's family paid for the security guard, if Shala and I paid for the nanny, which aspect did you really take care of? Another thing is I felt like she kept insinuating that she kept paying all these bills and that we had, a lot of bills from the cancer experience that she had to deal with and she paid. Another fact about that is that our bill was up to over $300,000. My mom put in countless hours of back-end work, going back and forth with insurances, all these different things that she went through. It actually got down to only $8,500. So out of a $300,000 cancer bill, we only paid $8,500 out of our own money. That's just another thing that she didn't have to worry about. Now let's talk about the nanny that we had that was 5 days a week in-house sleeping with us 5 days a week. I never intended on including her in this video, but after she saw what, Celine's mother had said, she insisted on helping me.
I'm Janelle, Landon and Celine's aunt, and also Celine's nanny. My role is to take care of Sol full on, and I did. I had her six to 5 days a week, at least 22 hours a day and night. And I changed her, I fed her, I bathed her, I took her out to play, I walked with her. That was my purpose of being there, for Sol only. She was like having my own child. My experience with the relationship in the home was very negative, tense, a lot of nagging, which was really hard because it was like literally from the time morning till night, just a constant nagging. She nagged him like literally all day until the time they'd go to bed. I could hear her up there nagging him. If the closet wasn't clean or the trash wasn't taken out, it was just like, oh my God, it was like the whole world ended. A lot of darkness in that house, a lot of negativity, which was really, it was heartbreaking, I think, with the little baby in the house. Landon as a father, wonderful. The best father that any mother or wife would want for their child. He would take over changing her. He would bathe her. He would put her to sleep during the night. If she wasn't with me, then she was always with her daddy. Living with her, loves that little girl more than life. I mean, obviously, I can't deny that. She just loves that baby so much, but she wasn't really present in the home. She was in there. She was at home all the time, but she never really was present in Soul's life, like she should have been as a mom. I still worked for Shyla after the breakup because the plan was for Shyla was going to get her own place. She was going to continue to keep me. And then Landon was going to get his place close by and he was going to keep me. So I would still work for both of them. I got fired because I wouldn't sign the NDA. She said her lawyer said I had to sign it. I didn't feel comfortable signing the NDA because that meant I couldn't talk about anything. Like right now, everything was between me and Shyla. I wouldn't have had a problem with that, but it would have been a lie. You know, it just would have been a lie. And so I told them I wouldn't sign it. So they said, okay, then you need to leave. I just want to say, you know, pray for Soul. We love her so much. Her family, you know, we don't get to see her like the way it should be. Soul's family on her dad's side, we don't get to see her. We have visiting rights. That affects Soul. And all we want is the happiness. We just want Landon to be happy. We want Shyla to be happy. But for Solene, we all love her so much. We just want everything to be normal in her life. This is not normal, what's going on. And it's not fair. It's not fair to ever have a child, not even 2 years old, going through this. And it's very heartbreaking. It literally breaks your heart.
Along with that, here's more proof that we did have a nanny since Soul was 2 months old.
Love you. I miss you so much.
I also find it really, really disrespectful that she's acting like my aunt didn't play a crucial role in our lives and my daughter's life and helped out tremendously. Mind you, even after my last day in the house, she kept my aunt even when I was gone and we weren't talking and it was at the worst of the worst. She still trusted my aunt enough to stay in the house and take care of Soul during that time. So let's talk about the NDA. Like my aunt said, she literally gave her the ultimatum, either basically sign this NDA tonight or leave. My family, the McBrooms, never said to sign the NDA. We never asked her, we didn't have her try to keep silent about anything. So why are you asking after all this time for my aunt to sign an NDA? I feel like that's something, if you really care about your privacy, that you would have had signed on the first time when you first hired somebody, not when you move out of the house and you're going through all this stuff. Just another thing showing you guys her character is a nasty text that she has sent my aunt. So mind you, this is the person who's taking care of my daughter. This is someone who my daughter is extremely connected to, extremely attached to. On our very first at-home visit where all my family was there to see her, because again, she was keeping Solene from my entire family for 90 days. I was the only person that had seen her in those 90 days. Of course, all my family's gonna wanna be there to see Solene when they've seen her entire life up until this point. Solene's mother was literally livid that my family was able to see her. That night after the visit, she sent multiple people in my family random, outrageous, disrespectful text messages. And my aunt was one of the people to receive those text messages. Here's the text. So first off, I would never send that type of text to any adult. I wouldn't send this to her mother, regardless of how I feel about her mother. I would never send this to anybody saying those type of things. The part that I find the strangest about that text is the fact that she basically is saying or accusing my aunt of putting hands on Solene. If someone who's worked for us for that long, has taken care of Solene that long, so has slept with Solene by herself multiple nights of her life, why would you ever assume that that same person would ever put hands on my daughter? I feel like if you could really have that thought in your mind and think for 1 second that my aunt, also the nanny that we both trusted this entire time, could really do that to our daughter, I think that's something that's really should be checked out and should be evaluated, because I don't think that's normal. And even when this happened, I wasn't even surprised that she sent that text, because every time, you know, the mother is emotional, she acts out and she just throws out a bunch of lies. Now I want to touch more on what my aunt was saying and talk about how involved and, you know, hands-on I am as a father. I bathed, I fed, I've watched, I've entertained, I've put to sleep, I've done every single thing that a good father does. But not only that, I've done really more than most fathers because we live together and work together. I'm at home all the time. Most dads aren't with their kids 24/7 every single day. Even though we had the nanny, I was very involved. This part is really hard for me to talk about because it's so cringe, just because there's nothing that anybody can ever say to make me feel like I'm not a great dad. I know I'm a great father. Every single person in my family knows I'm a great father. Every single person in her family knows I'm a great father. I love my daughter. I live for my daughter. I also find it extremely strange how if I'm like this horrible dad who didn't do anything for you and I'm just this horrible partner, how did we have multiple videos this same year talking about baby number 2? I just don't get how, you know, when we genuinely were planning for another baby, why would you be doing that with someone that you described acts the way I act? And that explains why every single video that we have is now archived, because she didn't want to leave me with any proof. So now let's talk about this Miami trip for the boxing fight where she's saying that we supposedly were trying to kidnap her to go. To me, it seemed like she was insinuating that my daughter went on that trip. Solene never went on that trip.
And I realized the voice was his mom. He had it to his ear and I could hear her screaming, and she was saying, I don't care if she doesn't like it, we're gonna take her anyways with us. And my heart dropped. I realized they were talking about my daughter, taking her to Miami. And I said, McCall, I can hear you. How dare you? I can hear you. And Landon quickly hung up the phone. He said, that's not what you heard. Like, that's not true. You're crazy. You didn't hear that. I know exactly what the heck I had heard. And that's where it really started getting bad. And my like mom radar was going off crazy. Like, oh my God, they're trying to take my baby. Like, I just heard that.
She was never there with me. The mother did not let her go. Mind you, this exact time, before I even left to Miami, the mother already had a restraining order against me, which also included Solene, so I couldn't even be around her regardless.
It's a custody and restraining order.
So what do you mean? This is my house though.
You're not allowed to come here for 5 days.
This is my house though.
But it says on here.
Not only was the restraining order involved, but I also had proof of the tickets purchased, and my daughter's name is not anywhere on there. During that part of the video, she literally said that my mom was basically conspiring to kidnap my daughter and take her to Miami against her will. That is the furthest thing from the truth. That never happened. My mother would literally never say anything like that. That would never happen. False. And all this happening during while I already have a restraining order, that just doesn't make any sense. My mom would not do that. Next, I want to talk about her claims of saying that my family, my mother, was trying to steal all of her money. Let's talk about it. How that even stemmed from is when all this started happening, I started being really suspect of Solene's mother's moves and what was going on in the back end, because my worst failure, the thing that I did wrong, was that I was never involved in our banking. I didn't really know what was going on. I didn't really know about like what money was coming in, what was coming out. I was not involved in that part of our business. That was wrong. That was a mistake that I made that I will never make again. Once this started going south, I went to the bank and got my banking information, which is our joint account, and I gave the information to my mother so she can look at it and tell me what was going on, so she could have my back, because I didn't know anything. I was getting scared. I was getting worried. I can't possibly go into the bank and get another person's bank information. They're not going to give it to me. I'm not that person. But if you have a joint account, which is how we kept all of our money, that's how we got paid our entire existence, our entire career. When you have a joint account, then both parties can get the information whenever they want, and that's what I did. Here is some further proof that it is a joint account.
My bank info, which I did not give permission.
Through my bank info.
He's asking for
It's my
It's joint.
So it's the same thing.
I don't get why she kept saying personal when clearly it's a joint account.
It's joint. It's joint.
Another funny part of her video is how she kept talking about, for some reason, how she was the breadwinner, that she paid all of her bills, that she funded my entire life, basically, which is extremely false. 98% of our money came from YouTube. The other 2% was brand deals, stuff like that, but everything really stemmed from this LNS. For example, if I would have got a brand deal for some men's company that I only did by myself, I still would have never had the opportunity without This Is LNS. Every time we've got paid, every time we've got lump sums, like or bigger checks, they came into This Is LNS. We've never got paid any other way besides going into our joint This Is LNS business account, which is both of our money. And it's weird, she makes it seem as if she's had these other jobs or she did stuff on the side, which she never did. That's like me saying all the videos that I did 90 to 100% of the work, a lot of videos that she wasn't even in, that's like saying I should get all the money for that. That doesn't make sense when that video is still posted on This Is LNS. We wouldn't have those viewers without both of us. It's a ridiculous idea and it makes no sense. And she's over here saying how she's paid Joe, basically makes it she paid Joe by herself and that she gave him raises and all stuff by herself. She never did any of those things. First off, we both paid him, just like we both paid our employees this entire time from the money that we both made. Second of all, there was no like random raise that she wanted to give him. The truth is that the big raise that we did give him, where we doubled his pay, was when we hired her mother to help us, and she was getting paid just as much as Joe, which makes no sense when Joseph is literally 50% of our entire channel. There's no way that him and her mother should be getting paid the same. It just doesn't work like that. And that's how Joseph got a raise, which was issued or warranted by both of us, not herself. Now we're gonna get into the kidnapping allegation. I think that the kidnapping allegation is just as serious as the abuse allegation. All of you guys know that with the kidnapping allegation that Joseph is heavily involved. So let's just stop for a second and talk about Joseph's real character. Everyone should know by now how attached my daughter is to Joe. Joseph has done way more for Celine's mother and I than any videographer should ever do. He's done more for Soul than any in-house videographer should ever do. In the video, she claimed and said that I never trusted Joseph to walk our daughter alone. That's false. Joseph's walked our daughter multiple times. We both have trusted Joseph with our daughter. This is some proof showing you how much she really did trust Joe.
We're gonna go to sleep. We're gonna have some issues.
Here's a video of Celine's mother thanking Joseph after she came home and he like cleaned the house and was watching Celine.
Guys, every night after dinner, without me even asking, Joe has completely cleaned the kitchen. We don't deserve Joseph, huh?
Right now I'm about to show you guys some evidence of Joseph being there for Celine's mother, times when she was just really drunk. During our breakup, she started drinking heavily and then she was just being randomly drunk, and it ended up being actually a not good situation, and Joseph was actually there for her a lot. I want to talk about the incident that was at home because that was actually a pretty scary time for me, scary time for Joe. It was a scary time in general. So Shiloh was by herself at our house, drunk off wine. I was upstairs with our daughter asleep, like most nights. At this time, Celine's already asleep. I hear her mother come to the door and she's banging on the door trying to get in the door. I go to the door. I'm obviously already knowing that something's up, that I know that she was drinking. It's probably because of that. I open the door and she's pleading like, let me in with your dog. Like, let me in. Like, she's gonna sleep with me. I don't want you to sleep with her. I got her. But she's drunk. Like she's stumbling drunk at this time. I shut the door. I lock it. That makes her obviously more upset. She's drunk, whatever. I don't care. I'm trying to protect my daughter. I text Joseph, please help me out with this situation. I have to figure this out. I text Joseph to come basically switch spots with me, lock himself in the room with my daughter so I can take care of Celine's mother. At this time, Joseph's in the room. He locked the door. He's protecting Soul. That's the same time that he sent those text messages to Celine's mother's mom. Now that I don't feel like that was even really a big issue, a lot of you guys already know how much my daughter loves Joseph and how their connection was. But now that we are all on the same page with how Joseph's character is, let's talk about the kidnapping allegation. Let's talk about what really happened that day. So on this day, this is May 15th, Joseph and I come back from a celebrity basketball game. Celine's mother already knew that it was also my dad's birthday. We're celebrating it out in Palmdale. So she already knew, it was already talked about, already pre-discussed that when I got home, I was gonna be taking Celine from her and taking her to my dad's for the rest of the evening to celebrate with my family at his house. We come home, everything was fine. My daughter was inside with the mother. My daughter was taking a nap on the couch. At this time, it's an awkward, like we're broken up, but we're trying to be cordial, but it's just like this weird time that's going on. It's this weird like dynamic in our house. When I get there, she says that she's lost her phone. And multiple times when she lost her phone, she would go on my phone and do like the Find My iPhone thing. So me, not thinking anything of it, I unlock my phone and I let her do it. I walk away from a second because I'm not thinking that she's about to do what she's about to do. She acts literally for at least 30 seconds walking around the house as if she's looking for the phone, ends up going outside. Again, I'm not thinking anything of it. Once she goes outside, I hear the door open to the car. So then I'm like, immediately I'm like, oh my God. So I start to run after her and she locked herself in the car. So now I have to go get Joseph to watch Soul because she's left her by herself on the couch. I have to go try to see what's going on my phone. Joseph comes downstairs. I go outside, now I go to the car, she's already locked it. I'm saying like, what are you doing? Give me my phone, we're not together, you can't be doing this, blah, blah. She's over here looking at it, she's like, no, like we're blah, 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 saying, I can't really hear what she's saying, but she's trying to go through my phone now. She's going through it. I'm just like, bro, like, give me my phone. Like, you can't do this. Like, I have to leave. Like, what are you doing? She immediately goes to text messages from my mother and I. When she's going through the text messages, she sees that I sent my mom my own banking information, like my email and password to my online login to my account. When she finds this out, she thinks that we're conspiring to steal money from my own account, which doesn't make any sense.
I went in the car. I locked myself in the car, and I went to the messages with his mother, and Landon's like banging on the window, like, you're crazy, what are you doing, what are you doing, what are you doing? And I'm like shaking. I'm like, okay, read, like. And I went, and his mother was sending him exact amounts of what was in my account.
Right now, let's talk shortly about this loan situation, or what she talked about with this loan, because that was this big thing. This whole thing had to do with money. After I decided to be done with her, I also decided to stop filming with her. Probably a week after we broke up, she wanted to continue to film as if nothing happened. I said, I am done with you. I don't want to do this. I will scratch whatever new money could come in. I do not want to film with you. I will take that L. I don't want to do that. That's not what I want to do. So not only did it become a heartbreak issue, but in her eyes, it became now you're messing with my money issue. In her eyes, I wasn't bringing any money to the table anymore, because now I'm not running the YouTube, which was how we made 99% of our income. To her, that's like, I'm not doing anything, I'm not providing anymore. So from that on forward, since all of our bills were being paid with basically our reserves, what we've saved off of This Is LNS, in her mind, that's me owing her money, because there's no like new money to be paid, I guess. So during this breakup, during this time, she kept wanting to pick fights with me. She kept wanting to argue about things. She kept wanting to talk randomly about assets and pick fights often. And it's just not what I wanted to do. I didn't want to talk. So obviously when you're irritated and you're reluctant to talk to somebody, every time they bring something up, you're just gonna want to like tell them what they want to hear just so they get out of your face. So me saying like, yeah, it was more like a, yeah, okay, yeah, I got it, yeah, I'll ask about it tomorrow. Yeah, sure, I'll do it for sure, yeah. I owe you that? Okay, cool. It was more like that. It wasn't like I was really saying I'm gonna pay you anything. So at this time, she's trying to basically keep us hostage, keep my daughter hostage, and not let us leave till my dad's birthday. She's wanting to talk about this money thing. So in that time, I'm over here like whatever you gotta do. If you want to call my mom about this situation, do what you gotta do, but do it outside the car. Let me leave, please. I don't want to deal with this. You can do whatever you want, but I want to leave. I want to take my daughter. You already knew that I was going. I need to get to my dad's house. So in this time, she calls my mother. Here's a video of that.
Call your mom. Call your mom. No, you know what? I don't even want you to take my daughter anymore. I don't trust you guys. You guys are trying to take my daughter. You're trying to make this whole narrative. I don't trust you. I don't trust you. I'm so sorry. If you take her, that's kidnapping. So I said no. So you wanna?
It's my dad's birthday.
Okay, then call your mom. Ask for a loan. Figure. There's not one thing in there.
It's my dad's
There was not
birthday.
one thing in there about a loan to anybody. Because I checked.
What are you saying? I didn't obviously text anything to my mom.
So who are you getting a loan from?
I'm working with my mom.
Okay, then call her.
Doesn't matter.
Then call her.
I have to
I'm
leave.
done playing with you.
I
Call
already
her.
told you. I already spoke
Then
to you,
call
and I
her.
said by
Then
Sunday
call
I'll
her.
have an update.
Then call her.
That's what I just told you.
Then
though.
call her. Call her.
I have to leave.
Call her.
No, we don't have
Call
any
her.
issues.
Call her. No, I'm tired of playing with you. I asked you for an update.
I just
asked you for an update.
We just spoke about it. What else do you want
I just texted you. Where's my update?
Obviously, I don't have it. I just spoke to my mom. She's
Call
doing
her then.
shit.
Call her.
All right,
She just called you. Call her.
We just talked.
Call her.
We just talked.
Call her. Call her.
Please.
Call her. That's not okay. That's not okay.
We just.
Like, I knew you were doing some shady shit. I cannot trust you. Like, I knew you were doing some shady shit. I know you're trying to take advantage.
I was trying to take advantage.
You
You're
are,
insane.
Landon.
You're psycho.
Okay, I'm so sorry you feel that way. I don't care.
But you're actually crazy.
Okay, when it comes
though.
to my daughter, I'm gonna be crazy every time.
But no,
I'm gonna
you're
come.
crazy.
When it comes to my daughter, I'm gonna be crazy every time.
It's coming to me and you. You're just crazy.
What am I crazy about with
Because
you?
I just need to leave.
What am I
You already
crazy
knew
about
where
with
I was
you?
going. I said I'm gonna
What
go.
money?
Okay, I already spoke to you about it, so I don't know what you want to do for me. I can do it at this exact moment.
Call your mom.
I'm not
just called
speaking
her.
to my mom
Call
right
your
now.
mom,
Then you
please.
could call her. I'm not talking to my mom right now. You can speak to my mom if you'd like to.
That's not okay. That's not okay.
There's.
Hi, are you gonna be loaning Landon money to pay me back?
Oh, you don't have to speak to her, mom. I'm not gonna talk to you. My mom's not gonna talk to you. I have to leave.
Landon said that he was asking you for a loan to pay me back by
Then
tomorrow.
you can talk to my mom in there.
I'm trying to confirm. I'm sorry, go ahead. He owes me over $100,000. He hasn't been bringing in money in the past 3 months. Okay. And I know you know because I went through his phone and I saw you talking all this shit. So I know you went through my bank info.
She grabbed my
Please,
phone and locked herself in the bed. Mom, don't talk to her, Mom.
No,
like,
I'm
bro,
not
just hang
talking
up.
to you. Are you letting me money or
Just
do I
hang up.
need to call an attorney? That's what I want to know.
Crazy. I have to listen. Talk.
I don't care about that. I don't care about a relationship with you or Landon. I would like to just move on. He owes me money. He owes me money regardless.
Okay, well, talk to my mom.
Listen. I'm about to get disrespectful with you in a minute. I don't respect you anymore. I don't really give a fuck about you, frankly. Okay, let's go through it then, you stupid bitch. Like, your mom's a piece of shit, dude.
That's insane to me. Okay.
Like, dude, no, it's not okay.
I would never disrespect your mom.
It's not okay, because my mom's never done anything to you.
Just go.
My mom's never done anything to you. My mom's never done anything to you. My mom, I'm not okay with you taking my daughter because I don't trust you.
I need to leave.
No, thank you.
I need to leave.
No, thank you. You're not taking my daughter. I'm not okay with that.
I need to leave.
I'm not okay with that.
I need to leave.
Oh my gosh.
I need to leave.
I'm not okay with that, Landon.
I need to
Mom,
leave.
I'm about to go crazy. Grant permission! I didn't grant permission!
It's my account.
You can't buy a house with me on there without my permission. It's the same thing, Landon.
It's not the same thing.
So, okay.
It's my stuff.
She's not trying to pay me any money now. Now Landon's not trying to pay me any money.
No one even said anything.
Oh my god, I will flip out. I don't give a fuck about her. Like, I literally will go ham. Okay. I do not get... Landon, you're not taking my daughter because I don't trust you. I see you guys talking about family attorney, this and that, and that. I do not trust you.
I need to
Until we get this figured out, you cannot take my daughter.
I need to leave. You already knew I was taking my... It's
I
my
don't
dad's
feel comfortable
birthday.
with that. I
can't believe you're talking about my mom.
Your mom's a stupid ass bitch. I'll say it again to you. Your mom's a stupid, dumb, biased, fucking piece of shit ass bitch.
Your daughter needs help. Like, your daughter literally needs help.
God.
I'm looking at her right now. She's literally crazy.
Your mom's a piece of shit.
No, your daughter's actually
crazy.
Your daughter's crazy,
you should ask your mom.
You need help,
You should ask your mom what she talked to my mom about yesterday. And then inform yourself.
You need help. You need help.
Inform
Seriously.
yourself. You need help.
No, seriously.
You need help.
I'm not being funny.
There's a part in that video where I literally am saying, I just want to leave, and she says, give me my money.
It's my dad's birthday.
What am I
taking
crazy about with
Soul.
you? Pay me my money.
If that doesn't show you something, I think that's very strange. During this time, when I'm pleading with her to leave, she says, go get Soul, get her ready, and then you can leave. So I go inside, I bring Soul back outside. When I come with Soul, with her bag, with everything, prepared to leave, that's when she finally opens the door and tries to wants to talk, but now she's yelling and it's loud, everybody's hearing it. At this time, that's when Joseph stepped in like he's done multiple times to take Celine away from the situation. We're arguing, it's not healthy. He's done this multiple times. Joseph walks away with Soul, just goes around the corner like he's done multiple times. Her mother, Celine's mother, sees Joseph walk away with our daughter for a good period of time. Maybe 5 minutes goes by. In that 5-minute period, it only gets worse. I'm still remaining calm, as you can see in the video, but her voice gets super, super loud. We have neighbors wondering what's going on. Joseph comes back with Celine and tells us to go inside. When he says to go inside, her mother turned towards Joseph, and she's already mad about Joseph for whatever reason, but she's basically saying like, and you, like, I don't even know what the fuck you're doing. Give me my daughter back. Not only that, just like you saw in the video, she's walking towards Joseph aggressively, trying to take Soul from him.
Give me my daughter.
Just go. No, stop.
Known her for years. He can see that she's not normal, that something's wrong, that she's super enraged. He says, like, no, like, what are you doing? I'm gonna continue to walk away because she's doesn't look like she can be taking Soul right now. As Joseph's walking away, I tell Joseph, just keep walking, you're fine, just keep walking. I tell Joseph to keep walking. Never did he ever get in the car, never did he even touch the car, never did that happen. He walked around the corner like he did the first time. When he starts walking away, Celine's mother says, like, what are you doing? Like, I'm gonna call 911, goes on the phone and starts calling 911. So again, Joseph walks around the corner again. He's already knowing that Celine's mom is calling the police on him. The first thing he does, mind you, we live on a corner. So the corner is literally like over our fence is the corner. So the first thing Joseph does is call Celine's mother's mom. He says on the phone, I'm hearing him, he says on the phone, like she's calling the police on me. I don't know what to do. Like, what should I do? She tells Joseph, just bring Celine back to the house. I'm about to be there. So that's what Joseph does. Joseph comes back with Celine. I grab Celine from Joseph, and we all three of us go inside the house.
Around Celine.
Don't act like that. I'm telling you, you're insane. I don't care. You're a piece of shit. Like,
I'm doing it. I've never been shit to you. I've been on neutral the whole time.
Maybe 5 minutes after that, Celine's mom's mom shows up to the house. When she gets there, Celine's mom is still not trying to let her leave. She's trying to say that, you know, I don't want to trust you, blah, blah. She's so stuck up on this money thing. She's not letting me leave. When Celine's grandma gets there, she has to literally plead with the mom to let me leave, saying that everything's gonna be fine. She literally calms her down and lets me leave. And I maybe leave about 5 minutes after that. Joseph comes with me. So it's me, Joseph, and my daughter, and we leave to my dad's house that afternoon, right after that incident. We also returned to the house that same night around 10 p.m. There was no kidnapping that ever happened on that day. Now in this part of the video, she starts to talk about this meeting that we had between both of our mothers and her and I. We have to talk about how crucial this meeting is and was to this whole story. In this meeting, we discuss the splitting of everything, the splitting of assets, bills, cars. We talk about basically the lease. We talk about everything involving this breakup. Mind you, during this meeting, I don't have a restraining order yet. I don't have any charges at all. This is also the last time that her and I ever spoke. And not only that, this is literally days, less than a week, days after we supposedly kidnapped Celine. May 15th is when the kidnapping happened between Joseph and I and Celine. May 21st, literally less than a week later, is when we have this meeting in our home. Real quick, once again, I want to thank Joseph for recording everything like he did. Once her recent video came out and he saw, you know, again, how outlandish it was, he provided me with this footage of this meeting. Thankfully, at this time, the only reason why we have this footage is because Joseph was scared and was filming to protect himself. Mind you, again, this is days after he's already an alleged kidnapper. These are serious allegations that you guys need to understand. They're very serious, where you can have jail time for. So thank God he was being himself and being proactive and recording for his own safety. That's the only reason why I was able to have this footage, which literally saves my ass. Guys, I need you to watch the beginning of this video very closely. Remember, this is days after the kidnapping. Joseph knew that because this meeting that we already planned, that he already knew was gonna happen, he knew that every time we have some serious situation like this, we would always ask him to watch Soul or walk her or whatever it was gonna be. So thankfully, again, so thankful that he recorded himself. Here we go.
If there should be a blanket on the bottom now, or never first. There used to be.
Yeah, that guy's right. That's fine.
That gray one?
Here, I'm gonna do this one. Gotcha, baby. Oh, this is one of those
Maybe these are over there.
If this person was someone you really felt like tried to kidnap your daughter days before, you're gonna tell me that you're gonna aid and help him get ready to leave by himself to take her on a walk? That doesn't make much sense to me at all. I don't think that this person looks, to me, if I'm watching the video, it does not look like this is a person who you just called the cops on for trying to steal your kid. That alone should let you know that she never viewed him like that. She was never scared of him. She's always trusted him. All of that should be thrown out the window right now. So Joe ends up taking her on the walk. Since the meeting was so long, he actually ended up getting or capturing the entire meeting. So now let's talk about how the meeting started. To start off the meeting, Celine's mother goes and apologizes to my mom and ends up giving her a gift.
But I hope going forward, any issues, we cannot take that route. And we can call each other and say, here, this is what, can you work this out with me? And I hope we can do that. And we got you this for Mother's Day. And for Grandma Shirley, and I just felt like it was a good Sorry, I didn't want to start off with that.
Thank you.
So you saw how she started off talking to my mom. You're gonna see the progression of this meeting and how she goes from this sweet type of persona into what you're really about to see. You're gonna see how her emotions got the best of her, which was a frequent thing. So Elaine's mother tried to paint my mom as this person who was trying to basically finesse her, trying to take her money, was trying to say that she didn't need a lawyer, was super unfair, all these things, which was completely untrue. You're gonna see how my mother started the conversation and how her intro to the conversation really was.
So why don't you say thank you for saying that? I appreciate that, and I accept your apology. I just want to set everyone's intentions for today. So I know you said you want to.
Really quick, let me grab my phone.
I'm so dehydrated.
I'm scared to drink water, so I get pee 20 million times when I do, and I hate, like, I'm just a keep. Well, this is partly so I can't do drinking after her. I have to give her my couch because you know I should be drinking.
So like my mother, she'd be like,
Can't do whatever, but.
So I just want everyone to be able to set their intentions, because I know you said Landon just listen, but in reality, everyone has to be able to give input, right? But in a timing that's fair to everybody. Like, we have to listen. So my intention for this whole meeting and for even getting involved in everything, because as you both know, I don't get involved in your business, right? The only time I'm pulled into your business is when something comes up, right? Whether it's something with a landlord, something with a bill, something like that. That's the only time I get involved. I don't ask your finances. I don't get involved in your finances. So I just want to put that out there. The only reason I'm involved now is because it got to the point where Landon didn't know what was going on. And he was just basing on what was said. He's like, hey, I need your help. Can we look at my account? Right? So that's the reason for this. So in going through all this, my intention is that since you guys are no longer going to be together, and that was your decision, is that everything is done fairly, right? And also too, my intention is, since I'm a business person, I know business, is to give you guys an understanding, which you, Shyla, should, and I always encourage this, you don't take people's words. You go and get counsel, right? You go and research and you do the work. This is just me giving you my knowledge. I've done some research. I've consulted with Landon, with a lawyer, so we know just factual things, not emotional things. Nothing emotional, right? These are just factual, because with business and owning a business, you can't just verbally say things and it goes away, right? It has to be in writing. It has to be legally done, because this is a legal entity. It's not a personal entity, meaning talking about LNS.
Next, she's claiming that my mom wants our YouTube channel back, or she's trying to get the YouTube channel back from her. And then she says, I never took it.
And she goes, as far as the YouTube channel, Landon wants that back. It's like, I never took it. Like, okay.
So let's not look at this here. Let's talk about the big pictures, YouTube. I already made the request with YouTube.
I never took it. Like,
they're already changing it on the back end. So that's something that we have to figure out, because you can no longer have that channel. I already requested, this is all this is done.
You guys literally just heard what she said, right?
I already made the request with YouTube. They're already changing it on the back end.
She said that she basically took it. It's already done now. It's been done. It's mine. That's literally what she just said.
I already made the request with YouTube. They're already changing it on the back end.
Next, she claims that I was sitting back and I was looking and I was smiling and I was just looking so evil and I just didn't care and I was not looking human, in her own words.
he was smiling and he thought it was funny. He thought I could see just like the evilness in his eyes. He thought this was a game. Like,
not once did I ever smile. Not once did I ever think it was funny. You'll never hear me laugh. You'll never hear me do anything. I took it very serious. And if anything, I was literally scared. Now she claims that with the Range Rover that she made up the rules and basically she let us know what was gonna happen with the Range Rover, when that's not true at all.
and I forgot to mention during the conversation, he goes, what do you want to do with the Range Rover? And I said, you know what? Just paid for the McLaren and the Range Rover the day before. I said, this is before she said, I'm not paying you anything back. She said, what do you want to do with the Range Rover? And I said, she said, you can keep it. Like, And I said, honestly, I don't feel comfortable keeping it because I don't want something that someone can just take away from me. She did co-sign in order to get, that was like a $200,000 car. In order to get a luxury car, you need a co-sign who also has a luxury car. I don't know if that's just how it is. She's also co-signed for his brother's cars. She's co-signed for everybody. So it wasn't like abnormal. My payments, I paid my insurance in full for the year. It was like $20,000. Like, didn't think anything of it. I just felt like their true colors had showed, and I said, like, I just paid for it yesterday, so I'd rather have it for the next 30 days until I can get my own, and then Landon can have it, and that can be his car.
In reality, the truth is that the Range Rover is in my name and my mother's name. My mom told her, I will allow you to have the car for another 30 days or until you get your own car. Do you want the Range Rover? Do you need it?
The Range Rover. So the Range Rover is in my name.
Yeah. I'm fine with giving back the Range Rover. You can have the Range Rover, and I will go get a new car.
But I don't want the Range Rover. I thought the whole time you were gonna take it.
The Rover would fall under his expenses if he takes it over.
Shyla,
Are you going to be paying back?
I told you, everything's going to be fair. So based on what income came in, all these other things, it's going to be fair.
Do you want the Range Rover? Do you want?
I never said I wanted it though.
So my thing is,
I can get
how
another
long
car.
do you need it before you get another car?
Let's not.
I'm trying to be fair, Shyla.
The rest of this month, the end of this month.
So when's the payment due?
The payment just came out yesterday.
So you want another 30 days before you get a car? I'm just asking.
But you're not understanding.
No, I am. I'm asking you the
middle
question.
part after. We're just saying.
Okay, let's say 30 days.
Okay.
Just until the next payment's due. I'm done with this.
Okay.
And I really want to talk about the topic of saying that we left her with no car, that you took her car back. That never happened. As you can see, everything that she said about this meeting was a complete lie. Now I'm going to show you guys some clips from the meeting showing you who the real aggressor was and how aggressive she really is.
No, you don't get to change your own mind.
Don't. I knew this was gonna happen.
You're crazy.
That's why I knew this was gonna happen.
You're crazy.
That's why.
You literally are psychotic.
Don't.
I'm done.
Shyla, don't.
I'm done.
Sit down. You need to get this done. Sit down.
I'm calling my
Shyla.
attorney? No.
Shyla, sit
No.
down. Sit down.
No.
No. This is fucking not
You're
gonna
a
get
piece
anywhere.
of shit.
Shyla, keep your fucking emotions in check. So I'm getting ahead. Alright, go ahead.
Finish this conversation.
No. I don't want you to sit next to
No,
me.
I don't care what you want. I'm a grown woman. This is my
Shyla,
house.
get out.
No.
Get out if you're gonna be rude.
I'm sitting here. You don't get to determine
Okay,
where I
but you
sit.
don't be rude.
No. I don't want you to say. Then you move.
Shyla, she's not doing anything at this point. She's only giving facts. Shyla, you need to calm down.
Okay, then tell her to shut the fuck up.
No, I'm not going to.
This is crazy.
Clearly you see the time when she was literally about to throw a candle at me and her mom had to stop her.
Don't.
You see her and her mom arguing and she's telling her mom to shut up and she keeps telling her like, stop, going back and forth.
Shyla, sit down. Sit down.
No.
Shyla, sit down. Sit down.
No.
You clearly see who's the more calm ones in the entire meeting.
Don't.
And I think a really crucial one is the part where she came and sat next to me in like an aggressive, trying to fight me manner. And my mom's telling her like, no, I don't want you to sit next to me, you need to go.
No. I don't want you to sit next to
No,
me.
I don't care what you want. I'm a grown woman. This is my
Shyla,
house.
get out.
No.
Get out.
If somebody is extremely fearful of somebody, whether they're an abuse victim, they're a battered woman, they've been hit, they're scared for their lives, they would come up to their abuser and basically press the issue like that and be like up in their face.
No. I don't want you to sit next to me.
I don't care what you want. I'm a grown woman.
I don't think that's what any person who's been abused would ever do to their abuser. And if you watch the clip again, I literally back away from this woman.
She's not doing anything at this point. She's only giving facts. Shyla.
Towards the end of this meeting, she's going in and out of the house. She's talking about she's calling her attorney. She's storming. She's talking crazy. She's basically not a part of this conversation anymore. I know at this point, the conversation is basically over. The meeting's basically done. So now I turn my attention towards my daughter. I go to find Joseph to get Soline because I know this is around her time when she takes a nap. So mind you, at this time, Soline's mother's already in the car. I'm walking out of the front driveway to go and try to find Joseph. I guess sometime probably when she saw me walking out of the yard is probably when she texted Joseph. She sent a text to Joseph saying like, where's my daughter, blah, blah, blah. I take one of our cars, I go drive around the block to find Joseph. When I find Joseph and Soline, I park, we switch. Soline's asleep in the stroller at this point. He gets in the car, drives back home. I start walking Soline back to the house to put her down for her nap. As I'm walking back to the house, here comes her mother swerving around the corner, speeding, parks in the middle of the street, slams on her brakes, hops out and takes Soline from her sleep out of the stroller, claiming kidnapping and just saying all these crazy things because all this crazy stuff happened. And again, all these emotions are involved, and you guys know what happens when she gets emotional.
You are gonna try to fucking kidnap her or something. I do not trust you.
This is extra. She's just gonna go lay down. You didn't have to do that.
I don't trust you. You're literally lying.
I was gonna make sure you get her in the car. Yeah.
Buckle it in yesterday, so I'll buckle it in.
Yeah, we
Because you're trying to set me up. I know you're doing a recording. You're trying to set me up.
No, just get her gonna do something crazy.
What would I do that was crazy? I haven't done
I'm
one
just saying,
thing
but she
crazy.
was asleep. You could have just let her go back to the house.
You have made it clear that
But
you're
stop
trying to
talking
take
about
my
us. Stop
child.
talking about us.
You're trying to take my child.
I'm not trying to take her. I'm not trying to take her, obviously.
Yes, you are.
Oh, how?
Dude, you're sneaky. You're literally trying to take her. You're trying to go over here, go behind my back. The one thing you're not going to take is my child.
No one's gonna take her. They'll know what you're doing. No one's taking her anywhere.
I know you're not going to take her.
Okay, but just please calm down though. Like,
I know that. I know you're not going to take her.
No, she's not going nowhere, Shelly.
I know she's not.
Okay, but she's just gonna go. She needs to go to sleep.
She's going to go to sleep.
At this time, this is when she made the video crying with Celine in the front seat with her.
No one will believe me. And right now, yeah, Mama, we're sitting parked right now in the car because I'm fearful to go home. I believe they're trying to kidnap my daughter.
No one's gonna take her. They'll know what you're doing.
They've stolen. Landon and his mom have stolen. And
I'm not doing anything at this point. You're only giving facts. You're only giving facts.
Looking at it now, I know 1,000,000% that this was always her plan, and this was all conspired. This was all calculated. She knew that this was gonna happen. She knew that she was gonna be able to use this later on. Now she gets into when we showed up with the police to get some remaining stuff out of the house. She claims that my mom was laughing at her and looking crazy, that we were being disrespectful, all that stuff. This is what really happened.
there was never two sets of keys. Landon still legally lives here. He has every right to come get his stuff. He can come get his stuff. That's no problem. But you cannot enter unaccompanied, and he cannot enter unaccompanied. But if Landon wants to go get his stuff, no. He can come get his stuff. I think they just want to make a show out of this.
Hey, officer. Good, yourself? Do you guys mind if I record for our safety? Absolutely. Yeah, appreciate that.
So the situation is, Landon and his girlfriend have this house. The house is under his name. However, they have broken.
Yeah, let's get out of the street before we get hit.
So they have broken up.
Alright.
So now it's trying to get everything out and he's being civilly, but it can't be civil, right? He needs to get his stuff out. She told him he can't go in his own house.
Okay, let's do it like this. We're gonna go and try to do this as civilly and as nicely as possible.
Another thing is my daughter's in there. And she's like, I just want would she be able to go on a walk with her while we get our stuff? Would she come back and we're gone type of
We
thing?
can't tell her what to do, but we can suggest that, right?
Just because she's not obviously.
Just so there's no confrontation. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because you don't want your little girl to see that. I get it. Yeah, we'll tell her, hey, he has a right to get his stuff. It's his house too.
So she did come out when she had the keys and goes, oh, Landon can get his stuff. You can't come in. That's fine. However, Joseph lives with them too. He has stuff that he has to get.
Okay.
It's bigger stuff, so they need help getting it.
Are there any restraining orders or anything like that on file?
No.
Okay, good. All right. Well, let's talk to her and try to keep it as civil as possible, right? And then as far as basically it's the stuff you can carry or fit in your car today. We can't stand by while you move the refrigerator.
Right. No.
So it's clothes and it's video equipment that's very expensive. That is it.
But it could take.
Yes, that's our business.
Okay, cool. Let us go talk to her
Her name's Shine.
and see if we can smooth things over.
And I think there's also, I think her mom's here. If her mom's here, if you tell her to definitely take her away. She's coming out right now.
We'll try to be okay, cool.
When we went to get our stuff with the police, it was Joseph, my friend Robert, and my mother and I. My mother never went inside the house. It was just Joseph, me, and Rob.
Okay. So I guess the only thing there's a dispute over is the camera equipment, because she said you guys co-own it.
No, everything's mine.
His stuff.
Everything's mine. She has one camera.
Business stuff, and he has his personal.
Right. So as far as your business stuff,
Back to stay. We're going to go
right.
back. That's fine.
I don't want to tell you what to do with your stuff, but if you guys are later, you guys can sue each other. You can take her to court for your stuff.
Yeah, I know what stuff is. I have one camera that's upstairs, like a smaller one. Yeah.
Stand by to make sure you don't take any of her stuff. I already told her, hey, look, we can't turn into a shouting match or anything like that. Let's try to be as civil as possible. We have about 10 minutes because we just got upgraded on a different call where somebody's hurt. So, you want to go in now?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's be cool about this.
Were they cool with all of us?
helping?
I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. Can they help so they can get it out faster?
When we were getting our stuff, at the time, it was Soline's mother and her brother. The entire time we were walking around, they were recording us for their safety or for whatever they wanted to do, but they were being recorded the entire time. If there was any disrespect, if there was any of my friends calling her the B word or whatever it was, trust me, she definitely would have posted it. She definitely would have used it as evidence for whatever reason. And I know a lot of stuff that I'm talking about, I'm covering is minor, but I just am saying it to really prove how much she lied in her video. Now she goes in to talk about the part where, like, how could I take my dog but not take my daughter?
Everything there, and didn't even think about taking Soul.
My daughter wasn't there. You literally just said that you're so scared that you gave Soline to your mother to take her out of the house.
And my mom was there, and I said, Mom, I just have a feeling, please take Soul with you home and I'll come get her later.
So how was I ever supposed to take Soul if she was never there? That doesn't make any sense to me. So now let's talk about this illegal or unregistered weapon that I didn't really go into detail the first time, or I didn't go into detail at all. So never ever did I ever own an illegal gun. I held on to an unregistered weapon for a short period of time. I've only ever had one handgun. It was a registered handgun in my name, perfectly legal. I have a family member who is in the gun business. He is a gun collector. He knows a lot of gun resellers. He asked me if I wanted to buy a handgun from someone who was selling a handgun that he knows. He said you can hold on to it for a while, you can play with it, you can shoot it, mess with it. If you want it, it's yours, you can buy it. I held on to it. When I held on to it, I didn't do anything with it. I forgot about it. I was too busy. I didn't shoot it one time. Obviously, time went by, he wanted it back because clearly I wasn't gonna buy it anymore. When he asked for it back, I remember that I returned the gun in no gun case because I must have misplaced it. I don't really remember why, but he wasn't tripping because he's my family member. So the first time around when I was asked about this gun, I said no because I've only ever owned one gun. I didn't remember that I held on to a gun for a short period of time, less than a month, a short period of time. That's why when her side presented the picture with the two gun cases, that's when it hit me like I did have another gun for a short period of time. I just don't remember because of how short the time was, and I never did anything with it. That's the story about this random gun that she thinks that I'm hiding. And what's even crazier to me is that this person, that this woman is going to act like she's so fearful about this gun and that I could just go and shoot somebody at some random time and she's so scared of this gun, when in reality, she was happy and loved that I had a handgun I kept in the house for our own safety. She loved it so much that we went shooting multiple times. She had no fear of guns.
Okay. Here we go.
Like, where do I hold it? Like,
yeah.
Now let's talk about how she showed the police her injuries to get a restraining order.
I showed them my injuries. They granted me an emergency restraining order and emergency protective order over our daughter.
Soline's mother says the word injuries. I showed the police my injuries, not injury. That means plural. The only injury that we know of is the finger. The only other injury is the boot. And we all know the situation with the boot. And if the boot was showed to the police to get this restraining order, then that means the restraining order is false. Now let's talk about her father, who she goes in a little bit and tries to discredit him because of how he's been on, substance abuse. He's been on and off drugs. He has these mental health issues, yada, yada, yada. She also says that she hasn't talked to him in 5 years. That's false. She's talked to him randomly throughout those 5 years whenever she needed him for some random job. How I personally feel as well is that regardless of these issues that you're claiming that the dad has, he still knows her. He still knows his own daughter. And he also said a lot of things that were really true. Here are some clips of him just talking about our situation.
My ex-wife and my daughter are very unstable right now, and she'd be better with the McBrooms, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that they would harm her. I think they would have just as much love as I would. And Charlotte, y'all cut that shit out, you know what I'm saying? Lying on people is not cool. And I know she's lying because I can show you a damn near restraining order from 20 years ago that she had against me, and it damn near says the same shit. So it's pretty simply to say that your mom took you down there and held your hand and got this restraining order against this guy. You know what I'm saying? I know Landon's a little fucking bitch, and I know that if he was fucking you up, you'd get out of there. You guys are probably like, yo, that's pretty cool. That's his daughter, and we're taking sides. You know what side I'm on? I'm on the baby side. That's the side I'm on. And I'm just keeping it real. I love my daughter with all my heart. I went to their fucking house and had to fill holes in the wall that Shyla fucking did. You know what I mean? She's a fucking beast behind closed doors. If you don't know, now you know.
Another clip I want to present to you guys within this 5-year gap that she said she never talked to her dad.
Okay, this is the final question. Who knows me better?
That was the best answer. That was the best answer. Long live the Walkers.
Only roughly around 3 years ago, this incident happened where she assaulted her father.
Oh, he hit me too. Oh no, lock my door. Let's go. Get in the car. Let's go. You're a liar. You're a liar.
And this incident happened to be around Fiji. If you know LNS, if you know us, you know Fiji, our friendship that we used to have. That was not 5 years ago. Now we're at the part where she talks about how she was so scared. She was barricading herself in the house. She slept with a knife. She would have security. This is where she's crying in the video. She's having the security check all the beds, make sure that no one's under the beds, that we didn't try to break in, etc.
To call security when I was gone, like after a long day, if I knew I was coming home at night, I would call him to meet me at my house. He would look like and clear the whole house and look under every bed, and it was like, why do I have to live like this? Like, barricade. I would barricade the door of the room that Soul and I would sleep in. I would have one dog sleep with me, one dog sleep outside the room, and Soul falls asleep with the noise machine. I was so paranoid that I wouldn't be able to hear if like someone was outside or someone was trying to break in, so I would stay up. Like, I did not sleep. And I would have a knife next to the bed. Like, I was terrified. Like, no one should have to live like that.
Mind you, I still have a restraining order at this time. And mind you, I left only a week after that meeting that you guys just saw to Miami. So how could you be scared when you know that I'm gone? Every single person in my family, Joseph, every single person related to me knows me is gone. And on top of this, during this time when I'm gone in Miami, she's contacting our landlord to extend her lease for another 30 days. She wanted to continue to stay there. How would you want to continue to stay there if you were so fearful? Now she goes on to say that there was a night when the dogs were barking and she opened the door and there's 3 men with masks trying to steal pickles, and she yelled and then she went back inside.
The incident is, I heard the dogs barking crazy and I opened the door and it was 3 men attempting to steal pickles. I screamed at them and they left, and I was too scared to report it.
Okay, so you're telling me that you called the police on all these things that never happened, but you're gonna see 3 grown-ass men in our front yard with clearly my daughter asleep in the house, and you're not gonna call the police? That doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense at all. I would hope out of anything you would call the police for sure. There's 3 grown men basically trying to break into our house and my daughter's asleep inside. Why would you not report that to anybody? And why would you not film it? That doesn't make any sense. Why would you not film that? And on top of that, she goes even further to say, to exaggerate it so crazy, to say she found banana monkey masks on the floor. That might have been the dumbest robbery I've ever heard of. If we left banana monkey, I'm aware a brand that's associated with my family while I'm robbing a house. That makes no sense. With a restraining order. Next, I feel like this is never ending. She goes in and says how during these visitations that I have now with my daughter that I didn't do any basic thing. I didn't buy diapers, I didn't feed her, I didn't do anything, I didn't change diaper, I didn't do anything. That's false. I've never had not one bad report in my long list of reports of these visitations. I never did one thing wrong. And especially on these visitations, why would I not do everything I possibly can to let these people prove what's going on and how I'm such a great father? That makes no sense. Never did they ever tell her those things. Never did they ever say, we're gonna make him be a dad. Never did that happen. The truth about her packing her lunches to all these things and then we denied those things is because I do it by myself. We don't need those things. I don't need your food. I pack everything myself. I didn't need anything from you at all besides my daughter. The person who's basically the one that's not in trouble is called the custodial parent. I'm the monitored parent. The custodial parent could use that later on in court to hurt you and say that I only packed the lunches for her. He used it every time. Every time the lunch pail came back empty, which means that he didn't do shit himself. I did it. So I'm saying, fuck all that. I don't want any of your stuff. Let me do it. So I'm showing that I can do it by myself. I don't need you to pack anything for her. That's what happened. I also have written reports on how every single visit went. Every single visit that I have with Celine, a report is written on it. Every single one, and they're extremely detailed, timestamped, what she ate, what she does, if she ever fell, how I talk to her, if I'm on my phone, how I'm treating her. Every single thing is recorded on these reports. And guess what? Every single report is shared to both of us. If I had anything negative in any of my reports, don't you think that she would have shared them to you guys? That doesn't make any sense to me. She would have shared it to you 100%. I have never had one problem with any monitor or any company we've ever had. We've switched multiple monitors, we've switched multiple companies because Soline's mother keeps getting into it with every single company that we work with. She's gotten actual arguments with the monitors, and it's being a huge issue. Here's proof of a report written up on really showing how she was acting in her character with these people. This one is like almost funny that I'm even talking about it. She says that Joseph and I never watched or walked my daughter. I should never have to talk about that. If you follow me at all, if you follow me for at least a year, you've seen me walk my daughter multiple times, if not every single day. And a lot of the walks, especially at nighttime, Joseph will walk with me.
So you okay? Celine. Well guys, this is how our morning is starting. We got little Selena Moore right here, chilling on her little bike.
This one is like, why, if you're gonna say it, at least not say it so crucial where we never did it. We never did it. We never walked. I never walked my own daughter. I never watched her. I never did anything. That makes zero sense. This is just another thing showing how dramatic and how she exaggerated almost everything that she said, if not completely lied about it. Last thing I really want to hit you guys with and give you some evidence on is this engagement ring. Basically in her video, she just tries to prove how she paid for the ring.
And here's my receipt.
Well, that lump sum of money came out of our joint account.
No,
it's my joint.
It's joint.
Just like how everything did. There's no way to pay anything, no type of bill, our $15,000 a month rent. Nothing ever came out of our account besides coming out of LNS. LNS paid for everything. So she even goes even further to put the actual agreement up for you guys to see. If you guys didn't see it here, we're gonna see it right now. Like I said, this is the last thing, but I promise you, this is gonna blow you away. You guys read what the contract says. You see everything that it says. I want you guys to see what this woman says at the meeting.
They're important, like the ring contract. That's $85,000, right?
Go through the promotion and we can make a video saying we got engaged and we can still handle our end. No, I was still willing to go through with it. You blew that whole thing up. And I said, let's still go through with it. Let's do it this week. Let's do it this week. I was ready to go through with it. You decided to not do that.
If I am this horrible partner, wasn't there for you for shit, didn't do anything for our kid, liar, abusive, all these things, just a horrible monster to you, why would you want to go through with the agreement, get engaged, and marry me? Someone please explain to me how that makes sense. So now at this point in the video, I'm almost done. Please hold on with me. Just please, 1 second. I literally broke down and dissected her entire video and almost proven every single thing false. But the crazier part is that I did not show the worst parts of the meeting footage. I did not show you that. The reason why I am not going to show you guys the rest of this meeting footage is because what you're gonna see that she did and said, you will never be able to forgive her for, ever. But I promise you, if she responds to this video with more lies, more playing the victim, then I will have no choice but to show you guys the footage. Let me explain to you guys how serious this footage is. As soon as I posted this on my Instagram, I'm talking immediately right after I received an email from her lawyer talking about they want a cease and desist to not post that video. Obviously, it's because Soline's mother knew exactly what was in that video. For those of you who do not know what a cease and desist is, it's basically trying to shut you up or else you'll get in trouble or else they'll sue you. They don't want whatever you're gonna say out to the public. They thought that this was gonna scare me into not defending myself. To end this video, I want to say thank you for you guys that watch this video and the ones who really watched it all the way through. If you are confused about any part of the video, please rewatch it. Please, I promise you, you'll understand if you rewatch it more than once. I hope you guys now truly understand and feel for me and understand what I've been going through this entire time behind closed doors. All this shit I've been through, not being able to see my daughter, all these heartbreaks, these up and downs, all this mental stuff I've been going through for literally nothing. I didn't do anything. I'm an innocent person. It's really sad and unfortunate that all this is stemming from her not being able to accept the breakup and this making her just not act like herself, not put our daughter first and just have all this stuff going on mentally for her. So all that I ask at the end of this video is just to honestly pray for her, not to give her any hate, not to go bash her, wish like what you guys do to me. Don't do that to her, please. Just wish her well, keep her in your thoughts, and hopefully that our whole family on both sides of this entire situation can just heal from this and move on, and we never have to talk about this ever again.